Well, hello and welcome to another episode of Streaming News and Views. I'm your host, Todd Erwin. Today we're going to take a look at the top three streaming device manufacturers. I know there's more, there's lots more out there, but these are the top three. These are the three that you're going to see in pretty much any big box retailer or online retailers as well. They're some of the more popular and easy to find streaming devices. Now, the first one we're going to take a look at is the Apple TV. Now, this is an Apple TV 4K first generation box from several years ago. Still going strong, still works really well. That kind of gives you an idea of just the kind of workhorses that these devices are. They are going to give you a premium streaming experience. And what I mean by premium streaming experience is they've got the hardware in there. They've got the high-end video chipsets in there. They're going to give you the best picture quality, the best audio quality as well. One of the things that Apple TV does, and that's kind of the controversial part of it, is they do convert all of the audio to from Dolby Digital, from a compressed audio format such as Dolby Digital or Dolby Digital Plus, into multi-channel PCM to plug into your home theater receiver. Now, it does, though, support high-res audio. Now, not the lossless, like DTS HD or Dolby True HD, but it is going to provide high-res audio, which is going to be your 96 kilohertz 24-bit audio. And in doing that, they are providing both Dolby Atmos support for movies, but also Dolby Atmos support for Apple Music and for Tidal. The newer models, which came out last year and 2 years before, if I'm remembering right, they support high frame rate gaming. This one does not. This will do gaming, but it does not support high frame rate gaming. This is an older device. It is, I think, just an HDMI 2.0 port on here. It does support Dolby Vision and HDR10. The newer models do support HDR10, HDR10 Plus, and of course Dolby Vision as well. What I like most about the Apple TV devices is their customizable interfaces. They're highly customizable, much more customizable than Roku or Fire Stick. Those are the two other manufacturers we're going to take a look at in just a few minutes. I mean, you can group all your entertainment, video entertainment services into one group. You could do all your music into one group, all your games into one group. So that's something that both Roku and Fire TV don't offer yet. Now, supposedly Roku's offering that, but I haven't seen it yet. Now, the downside to the Apple TV is that they're expensive. They're not cheap. Although they did come down in price last year somewhat. The newer models came out, they're a little smaller than this, but they doubled the storage space. Now, if you're just going to use an Apple TV for streaming video game, or not video games, but just streaming videos and music, go for the cheaper version unless you need a wired connection. This is an older one, so it has an Ethernet port. It's got an HDMI port and a power port on there. So the next one is going to be Roku, and they're a lot more affordable than an Apple TV 4K. They come in like 3 different form factors. So the HD and 4K models start at about $30, often less during the holiday season. That's going to be something that kind of looks like this. This is a box, basically. You've got your HDMI port, and this is your power port here. No wired connection on this, so it does require Wi-Fi. These are much slower than the next 2 model of Rokus I'm going to show you. They're kind of clunky. The user interface is the same across all the devices, by the way, on Roku, which is nice. But the downside to these little guys that sell for around 30, 40 bucks, like I said, they're slow. The apps are going to load slow. Movies and TV shows are going to load a little slower. And, it's like, like I said, This is like 30, 40 bucks. The next model up, this is a Roku streaming stick 4K. And these guys have a lot more power to them. They've got higher quality video chips in them. So this guy, for example, is going to basically just be your. This is going to give you the 4K model is only going to give you HDR10. That's it. This guy is going to give you HDR10 plus HDR10 plus if your TV supports it, and Dolby Vision. On this, and you're also going to get Dolby Atmos on services that support that audio format as well. So for 50 bucks, and this is a dongle, so this just sits in the back of your TV or in the back of your receiver, plugs right into it, into the back, so you the HDMI port. They do offer a little extender, so you can actually have it sit out a little further. So you can actually kind of maybe angle it a little bit if you don't have a lot of room in the back, or move it this way. Also helps with reception as well. Now the advantage of this guy is this is going to use an infrared remote. This is going to use an RF remote. So if you still have one of those old Harmony remotes, you're going to be able to program your Harmony remote to use this, but not this. This one you're going to have to use the Roku remote, which looks something like this. Now, what I really like about this is it's a nice size. It's not small. You got buttons, so you're not using a slide pad or something like that like you have on an Apple TV 4K. You got your quick launch buttons down here. This happens to be one of their voice remotes, so you can actually press the microphone button and talk into it. I don't like to do that, but some people do. The only thing I don't like about the Roku remote, although you can program it to power on your TV and volume control on your TV, it does not work with audio with home theater receivers. Why they do that, I don't know. The next model up with Roku, though, is going to be the Roku Ultra. This is their premier offering, sells for around $100, sometimes a little less during the holidays. And this is going to be their premium box. This is going to give you a little faster processor than the streaming stick that I just showed. And but the audio specs are going to be about the same. Now, the nice thing about this particular unit is it does have an Ethernet port on the back. So if you want to use a wired connection, which wired is always better if you can do it. So it is going to give you a wired connection. So that's going to give you a little faster or less chance of interference that you can have with Wi-Fi. The other thing I like about this device is it also has a USB port on the back. So if you want to load a bunch of music or a bunch of little videos, home videos, on a USB stick, you can just plug that into the back and you can play it through the Roku media player that's built into the device. Just a little nice extra thing that this guy does that the other two don't. Now, here's some of the downsides to Roku, and one of my sticking points to them. They do not support high-res audio at all. All three of those devices I just showed are capped at 48 kilohertz, 16-bit. So you're not going to get high-res audio on Tidal. You're not going to get high-res audio on Apple Music, even though the Apple Music app is available on Roku devices. It's just going to give you a lossy stereo audio at 48 kilohertz at best. And fortunately, that's kind of their Achilles heel for Roku. I've been kind of pinging them over the years saying, hey, you guys need to kind of beef up your audio specs on your devices, especially on your Ultra. And who knows, maybe someday they will actually go ahead and go with that. Now, of course, the last guy who's big is from Amazon. It's the Fire TV Stick, or just simply Fire Stick, and these come in HD and 4K versions. This happens to be This happens to be the Amazon Fire Stick 4K from about, I want to say 4 years ago. They just came out with a new version of this, and hopefully I'll have a review for that coming soon, because this guy, I've got one hooked up to both of my TVs, and one is kind of acting up. So I went ahead and got a replacement for that, and it's on its way. So once that comes in, we'll do a more in-depth review of the newest streaming Fire Stick 4K. So the specs on the new one have kind of changed a little bit. They've added Wi-Fi 6, the little faster processor on that as well. I think the Dolby Atmos support on the newer stick works with more apps than this older device. Uh, so these usually start, the HD models start at around $30. Sometimes they go down to about $20 during the holidays. So they've got the HD and the HD Lite. I would say go with the HD. Don't go with the HD Lite. The the price difference is so negligible, and you get just a little better performance. Although I would say just go with the 4K, even if you don't have a 4K TV. Future-proof yourself. It's going to be a faster processor. It's going to give you a little better quality. What I also really like about the Fire Sticks is through Amazon you can do a trade-in program. So like I did with mine, this guy not working well. He's acting up. So they gave me. They've got a trade-in program going right now at the time of this recording, where they're giving me a $5 Amazon gift card plus 10% off the purchase of a replacement. So that's not bad. That's better than nothing. You don't see that from the other streaming companies. And of course, this is a dongle style. They do make a premium offering called the Fire Cube. It basically looks like a cube. I don't have one. I've never tried one. Never really had the reason to try them. I'm not a huge fan of the Fire Stick, mostly because of their user interface and the fact that they do not support Dolby Atmos on purchased content, only on original content on their service. So that's kind of a nitpicky thing I have with them. These are super affordable, easy to get. You can find these just about any brick and mortar store, especially around the holidays. You're going to find these in Walmart, Best Buy, Target, etc., just like you're going to find Roku's and Apple TVs as well. These do offer a cleaner integration with Prime Video. They also offer a much cleaner looking interface. It seems like when I look at Prime Video on a Roku, it looks like it's upscaled from standard definition. On a Fire Stick, it actually looks like it's native 4K. So that's another plus to the Fire Stick. It's got a much better integration into Prime Video. What I don't like is the user interface is very, very, very cluttered with ads, recommendations of what you might want to buy, which sometimes tricks you into thinking it's next on your list, but you go to it and you're asked to spend money on it. The other plus I like about the Fire Stick is that they do support high-res audio and Dolby Atmos on Amazon Music Unlimited. And that's fairly new. I mean, the biggest complaint about Amazon Music Unlimited on a Fire Stick for many years is the best it could do was 48 kilohertz, 16-bit, even though the specs of these were 96 kilohertz, 24-bit. But for some reason, they had capped the capabilities of Amazon Music Unlimited on these devices. They just started offering that higher res audio as well as Dolby Atmos, so you can listen to music if you're a subscriber. You can listen to some of your favorite albums in that have been remixed in Dolby Atmos. So that's a really good, nice thing about the Fire Stick. Like I said, the complaint I have is the cluttered interface with the ads and just constant scrolling through stuff, and the sorting is not very user intuitive. The other problem I have is Amazon probably has some of the worst tech support for their Fire Stick devices. And if you've ever had to get tech support for a Fire Stick, you know what I'm talking about. It's not a pleasant experience in most of the time. They do could pretty much force you to go through a lot of troubleshooting steps that you probably already went through. And even if you tell them that you've already done it, they want you to go through it again. And unfortunately, one of those steps is usually resetting the device, which means reloading all the apps. So that's one of my really downsides to it. You're probably wondering, well, Todd, if you don't like the Fire Stick, why do you have them? Well, for this channel is part of it. And the other part is, I do have the discontinued Fire Recast DVR for over-the-air antenna recordings. So the only way to watch those recordings is with a Fire Stick. So those are the two reasons why I have Fire Stick. So which one do I like the most? I probably like the Apple TV, although I think they're still rather overpriced. But the audio and video quality on them is just superb, and it's a really premium streaming video experience, especially if you're watching original content on Apple TV Plus, or watching movies in your library on Apple TV. They're going to have usually they have the better quality encodes as well, and then it's kind of a toss-up between Roku and Fire Stick. I do like Roku's interface a lot more than I do on Fire. So I usually push Roku if you're looking for a low-cost alternative. If you have any questions or any comments or recommendations for future shows, don't forget to put those down in the comments down below. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to see more videos and want to be notified when more videos become available, because I'm not really going to do these shows on any kind of regular basis. I'm going to try to do at least 2 shows a month at the very minimum. I may come in and I may break in and do a quick show if some major news stories break. So hit that subscribe button and you'll get those you'll be alerted to those videos right away. And that is it for today. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time here on Streaming News and Views. I'm Todd Erwin. Good night. This is a Roku Streaming Stick 4K. Ah! This is a Roku Streaming Stick 4K. Gonna try to do this minute. Okay.